value propositions. Why do you need to have one? It's such an important topic and most people forget about it when they're going about their business in their everyday life, right? Or you've probably heard of the UVP, the unique value proposition. Now, why do you need to have one? Well, we need to understand, and people need to understand why you do something and how it's different to anyone else. Because otherwise it's going to be like, hey, you're another Facebook guy. Cool. Hey, you make videos for people. Great. Hey, you got a personal trainer. It doesn't actually matter. You need to be able to articulate your value proposition and what makes you different. Right, we're going to show, and I'm going to give you guys some examples because I was able to use my value proposition that we have here at Your Social Voice to get a free car, okay? And a lot of people go, Kim, that's impossible. You can't go and get a free car. We've done it twice now. So the first time we had an arrangement with AHG and we were able to get a Nissan X-Trail for a period of time. And then more recently, then we gave it back after we finished the deal. And then more recently, we are able to I put up a post. I was like, well, I want to get a Range Rover, right? Purely because I'm kind of like The Rock from Ballers. That's exactly why. But a lot of people told me it's impossible. I was like, look, I have no qualms if I wanted to pay with money, but there's so many other currencies, right? Time, energy, effort, relationships that you can all use as currency as well. And they're all part of your value proposition. So a lot of people know me when they look at me, they're like, cool, Kim has a value proposition of being great at advertising, great at marketing, and understanding the online landscape. So when I put this post up, a lot of people said, Kim, it's going to be almost impossible for you to do that. Kim, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. Why don't you just pay for it, right? And I didn't want to do that. Even my team, they're like, we're going on a Christmas retreat down to Margaret River. And everyone's like, Kim, so if you don't get the car, should we look at some options of renting and stuff like that? I was like, guys, you have so little faith in me that you don't think I'm going to get it, right? And this weekend just gone, I ended up picking up the car. And I'll cover a little bit more about what the value proposition is and how I articulated it for them. Because a great quote and something that I truly believe in is from the man Jim Rohn himself, which is that you don't get paid for what you do. You get paid for the value that you bring to the marketplace. And that's always what I focus on, is how I can give more value. Like right now, we don't get paid to do these pieces of content for you, but it's value that I'm providing to the marketplace. And another one that we always live by, and one of my favorites, is that, you help enough people get what they want, you'll have everything that you want. So what we're gonna do is in a moment, we're gonna jump in the car, we're gonna go for a little bit of a drive with Ma'am Christy over here, just sitting, just taking in all the value, just absorbing it like a sponge, right? And then we're going to go through and share with you exactly how I structured that and shared that and what that looked like for them, and then how you can do the same. Let's do it. Okay guys, so you can see that I'm legit, right? I didn't just make it up. We got a Range Rover. Now, how are we able to do that? How are we able to create so much value that people were able to do it? Because that's what a value proposition is. So how do you go about it, and what does that look like? Well, you need to think about, what do the people want in the marketplace, right? Because if I had just gone to these people with just a normal offering, it wouldn't have worked. And the easiest way to do it is find out what's important to them. Really delve deep and understand and go, okay, cool, what can I do that will provide so much value for them that they can't help but give me their money, they can't help but come on board, and then I'm going to help them get phenomenal results. That's what you need to be thinking about. So normally, I would say, people, I can help you do Facebook ads, right? And that's what I would do, and then they would give me a car, right? Very simple way of thinking about it, but that's what it would look like. So instead, what I looked at is, how can I provide them with so much value? Because when I spoke to them, they didn't need ads. They didn't need Facebook ads to be done for them, right? They were looking at potentially selling their company into the future. So I thought, okay, cool, what would provide a lot of value for that? If you're looking at someone who wants to sell their company, what's going to help get them an increase in their sale value? And it always comes down to systems and training, because that will help you go from a 2 times to a 3 times to a 4, 5 times multiple by having that option for people, by having that available for them. That's going to allow you to get an even better price. So I said, hey, you've got training, Do you have that fully built out into a membership site for anyone that comes on board with your business? When you're launching new locations, when you're doing these things? Short answer was no. They had somewhat something like that set up, but they didn't really have it. So I said, how about if I was to create you a perfect, beautiful, easy to follow, easy to integrate, easy to manage membership site system so that you can really dive into what it is that you're doing and that's already taken care of. They said, yep, Kim, take the wheel, we're on board. They threw me the keys, said, yep, we're in, let's go for it. But if I had just gone in there thinking, oh, I'm just gonna run ads for someone, or I'm just gonna build a site for someone, it wouldn't work. So the easiest way to figure out what your value proposition is find out, like, how can I make it better? How can I help my clients get more predictable results? These are the questions you should be asking yourself. How can I ensure that everything I do adds value to them? I'll tell you a little story. There's a location up in, I think it's in between the Kimberleys, and they have and this is a value proposition if I've ever heard one, right? They have a accommodation there. It's 100% Wi-Fi free, cell reception free, so you've got to enjoy it. And they charge $3,000 a night. Some of you are going, $3,000 a night, I can go to a campsite and I can camp there. I don't need to spend $3,000 a night, right? But here's the kicker. What they thought of is they've got a range of services. You've got your accommodation, you've got your food, and then there's also the experiences. You can go out to gorges, go and look for crocs, things like that. 3 key areas. So they said, how can we make each experience that we have with our clients worth $3,000? Think about that. So the accommodation itself, how could they make that worth in excess of $3,000? Then they had the food. How can they make just the food experience worth $3,000? And how could they make the experiences worth $3,000? That is a thought process you should take into it. So when you're having your interaction with your client, how can you add so much value in whatever the 3, 4, 5 key areas are of your business? So for us, it might be ads, funnels, client relationships, where we're having relationships with them. How do we make sure that at every level of what we do with them, they have extreme value worth more than what they pay us? And that's the thought process you need to take through to identify your UVP, your unique value proposition. If you think about that, you first have asked them and ask yourself those questions, and then you actually go after it and you go, how can I make everything that they have as a pillar of my business, or I liken it to a table leg, right? If you imagine that you've got your business as a table and you've got the legs holding them up, what are the 4 pillars that hold them, right? And then each one of those, how can you make it so valuable for them that they can't do anything but be willing to give you money? That's the how. And one more thing to share with you about value propositions, guys, which we're going to do in the car on the way back to the office. Enjoy a little bit of the sun here. So we'll cover that in just a sec. So to wrap it up, guys, having a value proposition is really what's going to distinguish you from anyone else. And yes, it can be just for your business, but it also could be for a product or service that you have. So every time you release something new, I highly recommend creating and identifying that value proposition, going through the process that we said, asking your clients, identifying your pillars, and then also seeing how you can give every experience that you have with that client and make it that next level. Like even when I got this car, when I rocked up, the guy called me before I arrived and said, hey, 3 questions. Do you drink coffee? Were you going to stop and get a coffee? Would you like me to get you one? And I said, answer to all 3 of those questions is yes. So when I arrived here, I had a coffee sitting in the coffee holder for me as I was about to head down to an event. So, you know, even that one little thing, now I was like, man, this guy's got so much class. I can't wait to help and over deliver for them for what we're going to create. So think about that every time, every interaction that you have. Make sure you provide them with massive value, guys, as we go through the beautiful value-laden Kings Park here. And of course, guys, if you've liked anything that you've heard today, please give us a like. Makes me feel good.
Otherwise, every time I get a like, Ma'am Christie gives me a tick. If I don't, she hits me, so please don't make her hit me, guys. Give me a like. Comment, let us know what you thought of this video, anything else that you'd like. And as always, subscribe so you're the first to get access before anyone else, because we like to give you action-laden, tactical things that you can do in your business. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, adios.